Good morning from the heart of Burbank's Media District right here at Johnny Carson Park. The air is clear. Hopefully the sun will be on our side today. The grass has been cut and there are hundreds of cars sitting right in front of me. We're here at the 33rd Annual Road Kings Charity Car Show. We're glad to have the My Burbank Talks crew with us today with the one and only, the president of the company, the Craig Sherwood. We have today's producer and co-host of the weekly podcast. He's known around Burbank as Mr. Burbank, the Ross Benson himself. Also joining the panel today, the voice of My Burbank, yours truly, Craig Durling. Joining us in a while will be My Burbank Talks writer and podcast host, Ashley Erikson. As we get ready for the opening ceremonies, we'll be joined by former Burbank City employee and local realtor Gino Gaudio with his rendition of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We are fortunate to have Vice Mayor of the City of Burbank, Nikki Perez.
Hi, Ross. Hi, everybody.
Welcome.
Well, you just said, the opening remarks, you said this is a Burbank staple.
Definitely is.
And it definitely, Road Kings, Burbank, you're a lifelong Burbank resident.
I have been coming to these shows on my dad's shoulders.
I'm the only one here that hasn't spent their entire life in this city. I'm a transplant. But I'm still here.
Yeah, you're still here.
I got no reason to leave, right?
We've adopted you.
I'm adopted. I'm adopted Burbank resident.
So as you made your way to the stage, you passed hundreds of cars. Can you believe this?
Oh, my gosh. I love this show. This is the big one, so I love coming to this one. Last year, they had a little cute hot rod from Guatemala.
Oh, really?
My dad was in love with it. So
I remember you would last year. I think we have pictures of you and Jay Leno walking around. He made his presentation or came, and you were here, and you're off to a busy Sunday schedule. Burbank is busy.
Burbank is busy, but you know what? It's good because we're busy with community events. My favorite thing is seeing all the little kids that are getting to enjoy what I got to enjoy when I was little with their dads, their moms out here. So this is a Burbank staple. I love this. I love the Bob's Friday nights. Don just told me about another one coming up, so I'm excited to be there too.
Yeah, it's like you say, it's community. Burbank's a little different, and we need to continue to do these events like this because it brings people out, brings kids out. And for kids, I know I have two granddaughters, and when they come to community events, you let them run around, and they know who's here, and they see their other friends, and that's what Burbank is. It's a little different than other communities.
And it's great. This event, there's so much for everybody here. Car enthusiasts, children, there are games to play, there are displays, there are vendors here, there's food. That's always a plus, right? But this is great, and it gets us all out of the house, that's for sure, on a nice Sunday morning. A little cloudy, but that's keeping it cool for now, which is good.
Oh, yeah, and I love what you said, Craig. There's something for everybody. Last year, I ran into some folks who do custom bikes. They deck out their bikes. They will add all of the glam that you think you can add to a car. They've added it to a bike. And they're cruising down on Chandler. You can find them on Saturdays.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah, Burbank has so much going on. I know there's an art festival going on yesterday and today, car show today. Like you say, Chandler Bike Path will probably have hundreds of people walking on it today. There's probably a dozen other events going on. Well, I know you have a very busy schedule today, and we'll let you go and look upon the cars before you zoom off to your next assignment, and maybe we'll see your partner in crime, the mayor of the city of Burbank.
Which one is yours? I like that black little convertible
Oh,
over there. I see
man.
you in that one going down Olive.
You know, I would take any of these lovely custom old school cars. But you know what? I wouldn't trade my car for anything. I have a 1996 Toyota Tacoma, full metal body. It's in great condition. Love her, and I hope she lasts another 200,000 miles.
It's not out here anywhere. It's not on display, though?
We're not there yet.
A couple
needs
more hours in the garage.
It needs a couple of hours at West Coast Customs before it's
There you
presentable.
go.
And then there you go. Why do West Coast Customs choose Burbank as a home? We're a great community for businesses like that, and it's just nice to have West Coast Customs here. And
Exactly.
Go for it.
And I'll leave you with this, Ross. I think Burbank is a huge old school car community, and we really embrace that through our businesses, through our community members who are really involved in this. And I think it's a wonderful thing to showcase, and I want to make sure we do that more.
And the Road Kings are a fantastic organization. They give back to the community. These guys pay to be in this show, and that money turns around and goes to different organizations, nonprofits in our city. So we got to take our hats off to Road Kings.
Road Kings, they've been around longer than you have. They're 72 years old today.
Very true, very true. Well, Madam Mayor, our Vice Mayor, have a great day. Nice seeing you. Glad you stopped by. Your
Always.
makeup's still looking good, and
For now.
I wish mine was.
Thank you for stopping by. Well, Ross, we have another guest. Why don't you introduce them and find out what's going on?
Well, the show has hundreds of people walking around and walking by our booth just now, and I grabbed him by his shirt sleeve,
By his beard.
by his beard. Kevin Muldoon. A lot of you in Burbank, if you listen to this podcast, he writes a lot of letters to the editor. He addresses the city council. He's lived here many, many years and knows a lot of history about the city of Burbank. What do you think today about this car show?
It's one of the go-to events every year, and they filled the park again this time. And if you haven't been up on the hill yet, if you're at the show, check that out. It's a nice casual event up there. A lot of cool cars up here. But down here is the main Road Kings, and they're Burbank staple, what is it, 50, 60 years, something like that they've been around. And the only thing I do miss is the chili cook-off that used to go with the car show here.
Well, Kevin, I am working on bringing Burbank on Parade back to a smaller version. And we're looking, there's been conversation. One day, maybe Burbank on Parade on a Sunday do the chili cook-off. You remember being out here for the fire
for sure, yeah.
There were thousands and thousands. And what stopped that is some kid had a couple of beers and climbed up the power line. The city said no more.
Will you never let me live that down?
But no, the Road Kings, they're great, fundraisers, and they're charitable with their activities and things like that. So they're a great part of Burbank. It's part of the reason people love Burbank so much is it is the home of the car culture. We got Bob's Big Boy, we got the Road Kings, we got the studios, we got the studio cars that we see. And you drive around Burbank, you're going to see Jay Leno in an old car.
We haven't seen him walk through yet. He usually shows up.
He does, and who knows what he'll pull into. When I was working at NBC, it would be what did Jay drive today? It was one of the highlights of the day to see what was in Jay's.
Now there you go. We're sitting literally across from NBC, where you said you were working. How do you like that sight line? I mean, these new iceberg buildings.
It's really neat what they did. I mean, it's a Geary, right? Frank Geary
building done by that's a Worth project. In fact, looking through that tunnel, all those are Worth buildings.
We heard from the vice mayor that the inside of that building is amazing.
Right.
The way it's decorated and.
But isn't it? You've been there a long time. City's changing.
Sure.
We look downtown.
Yeah.
You live up on Olive or up on the hill, and what we call the hill.
Yeah.
People that listen to this podcast will know when I say up on the hill.
Right.
But you get around. And Burbank is changing. You can't do anything about the number of cars because people
sure.
are moving here.
Sure.
They say that you have to build more houses. That means bring in more cars. Some people will be riding bikes.
In their own lane.
Well, that's funny. As you know, they're narrowing streets in Burbank and putting bike lanes in. And, we don't know what the city, the planners and all those guys have planned. But you look at this, I doubt if we have an electric car here today.
Well, they're not going to get rid of the Road Kings or gas cars
Oh.
anytime soon. In fact, we still kind of push Sacramento into giving us the exempt older cars because right now it stops at 75. So anything later than 75, you still got a smog, and that takes a lot of classic cars off the road that you can't get
Right.
smogged anymore. I belong to a website about smogging your classic car, and it's a needle in a haystack of what the pollution they're putting out. So it's a car culture that hopefully will be still embraced as we get into our twilight years and not have to go buy specialty gas from somewhere that, makes gas for us
Right.
old timers to drive our cars around.
It's hard enough finding the parts to keep it running, much less.
Well, that's what's amazing is, some of these cars out here on the lawn, you can get a catalog and you can buy every nut and bolt for a 65-year-old car, but your washer machine goes out that's 4 years old and you can't get a computer program
That's
for it,
disposable.
and you got to throw it away. It just
I
doesn't
talked to a
make
guy. I have a 2004 Chevy Tahoe sitting behind me, and he has built. This is what the LA Sheriff's Department Bomb Squad used to drive, and he has rebuilt one, everything from what he can get by online.
sense. Right.
Every part of it, he says, you can get online.
And that's a tribute to the automobile business in our country. That was part of the thing. You couldn't build a car and leave people high and dry
Right.
on parts for it. So they had to make a certain amount of parts. And like you say, those are getting some harder to find. I mean, there was I forget what car pulled in here recently, but I looked at it and went, you're not going to find a single part for that car in a catalog anywhere. There are some orphan cars that were just so few made that there is not a lot of market in making parts for those cars, so they all are hand tooled and
Yeah, we got to keep those fabricators and machinists in business.
sure. And
Keep 'em around.
luckily 3D printing has brought a new life to finding parts for a lot of these cars. I know Jay Leno, he prints old Bakelite knobs for his cars that are obsolete and no longer available. So it's still a business out there. The old timers are going away though. I know a lot of guys that repair these cars and build these cars, they're retiring and they're moving on, and there's not a lot of people following them to keep up with this restoration. So we got to do things like events like this, and the Road Kings are what keeps it popular going.
So
I
out
don't know if
of
the camera picked it up, but we have a couple of stormtroopers and Darth Vader just walking by behind us here.
oh yeah. So Kevin, out of all the hundreds of cars that are here, what's your favorite?
I got to walk around again. Audie Gill has a Rolls Royce here today, a right-hand Rolls Royce. Now, Audie has a collection of the finest automobiles on the planet, and it's probably the most expensive car here today. So I'll have to tip the scale a little bit. That is a beautiful piece of machinery sitting over there. So if you haven't looked at that Rolls Royce up at the front of the show today,
I'll have to go
by and
find
look
that
at
one. I like that.
Yeah. It's a beautiful car.
Well, I appreciate you stopping by and taking time. Go ahead and listen to my Burbank Talks.
Bet.
We're doing podcasts. I don't know if you follow us.
I do. And I was going to say thank you guys for all you do. You're the only voice in Burbank left. There's no other way to keep on what's going on or letters to the editor anymore. And so you guys are old enough to remember the good old days when we had reporting and things like
Well, they are. They are.
But so I want to thank you guys for what you do too.
Well, that's what Craig and I both, we've been doing it a long time. We feel Burbank deserves its own news.
Yep.
And there's enough going on. And no offense, local governments are trying to just keep it quiet. We remember the days that there used to be trays in the city manager's office for all the publications. They don't do that.
Sure.
We do have a great PIO
Yeah.
in our city that keeps us informed, that keeps the public
Well,
informed.
they've taken out all the newspaper boxes, right?
Well, that was something, but that was more of a eyesore than anything.
All the empty ones. But kind words indeed. We
But
appreciate
and
that.
Kevin, if there's ever a topic that you want us to cover, throw us an email
We'll
or
do that.
get a hold of me, and
I will do
we'll
that.
we'll do the research and so forth. And
Well,
I know you're around town quite a bit.
I am, my guys. Thank you very much.
Enjoy the show.
You bet.
Thanks
guys.
for stopping by.
Hey, Ross, we've got the band back together again.
The band, I hear it. Wow, we are. You know, is this a garage band or is this?
I was
Not
in a
today, it
garage
isn't.
band once.
Were you really?
I was a drummer in my high school garage band.
Oh, come on. Let's see
Yeah.
some stick movement here.
Who's joined us?
Oh, that's right. That's what we're
The
doing.
lead singer of our garage band.
We said Ashley Erikson was going to be joining us in a bit, and look,
I
Lo
woke,
and
I got
behold.
out of bed.
Lo and behold.
you're the only one that requested a makeup trailer too. I don't get it.
I just needed a little extra beauty sleep.
You're the only one of us that doesn't need it.
Well, we have Ashley Erikson with us. Ashley, if you've listened to any of her podcasts, I mean, you probably have a dozen shows down now on My Burbank.
yeah,
Blog.
definitely more than that.
They are
Yeah.
they are very interesting. I listen to them all, and you have some great hosts.
There's some
you
great
know,
women in this community.
That there are, and you also one of our feature writers at My Burbank. You handle our My Burbank
Email blast.
email blast and our
Oh,
new
and you-
awards.
Um,
You're behind a lot of the social media, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have 200 envelopes sitting on my table ready to be mailed out on Monday.
And that was for the
My Brewing's Best.
Yes.
2024.
I spent all weekend working on those.
so car show today, Ashley. I can you believe this?
I know, I love it. This is one of my favorite events of the year.
We had the vice mayor here, and like she said, this is community.
Yeah.
This is what brings people. You know, people are walking by where we're set up. We got dogs. I've seen babies.
Yeah.
I've seen people probably in their 90s. Oh,
We have
Craig's with
we
us.
have stormtroopers. Darth Vader just walked by.
Really?
Oh yeah, we got a whole Star Wars crew that walked by.
Oh, I'm excited to
And-
look around.
And turn around, look right behind us. You know, that's what I get.
Hand polishing cars.
You know, that's what you see at a car
Yeah.
show.
Scooby Doo on the engine of another car. There
This weather is so perfect.
is.
The overcast is so nice. No one's standing out in the burning hot sun today.
Thank
Love
goodness.
it. Not yet, anyway,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I know you're gonna run out and
Yeah.
look at some of these cars and make an offer on a couple. Did I hear?
Yeah, I'm here to purchase a vehicle today.
Well, we know your other half is a car aficionado.
Yeah.
He probably has ripped apart more automobiles and
As long as you can put them back together, that's really the,
Well,
the
he-
important part.
Yeah.
and, you know, he always has that extra bucket full of parts.
Oh,
That's
we
the
have
problem.
a garage full of parts.
Extra parts when you put the lawnmower back
Oh
together.
yeah, he's always like, I think I have this laying somewhere. I'm like, I'm sure it's in there.
We'll be able to look forward to you're going to grab a couple of people throughout the day
Yeah,
here and
absolutely.
interview them. That'll be great. We'll look
Yeah.
forward to that.
Yeah, go check out what's going on here at the car show.
Get yourself a breakfast burrito.
I need some
They're,
coffee.
they're good. Coffees are right over there. Stage right.
Okay. Well, stay tuned for our next guest, everyone.
Ashley has joined us, and she happens to have probably the most important person of this whole day,
Hmm?
the president
Yes,
of Road Kings.
2 times. Yep, second year.
I'll give it to you, Ashley.
Yeah, this is Karen Arellano. She's here with us as the president of Burbank Road Kings. Welcome.
Thank you. It is wonderful, and it is a unique weather day, but it is wonderful because
Ah.
it's not too hot.
This June gloom is killing me.
It is gloomy.
It has been gloomy every single
But
day.
when you see all this, how could it be gloomy?
Yeah, but I feel like the colors. I mean, when you have the sun and reflecting,
Oh, they
and
look
there's
better.
shadows. But I like it like this. No one's out there sweating. It's nice.
Right, and I don't have to call the paramedics at all.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yes.
we got this.
So this is your day. You have been planning this day for a very long time. You've
A
been
year.
up since 5 a.m.
Yes.
You're extremely tired, I'm sure.
Yes.
But tell me now that this is here and people are enjoying the day, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling wonderful. I mean, I've seen these people. I run the registration as well, so I get to actually talk to everybody as they come in. And, there's a good and the bad a little bit, but we got everybody in here. We had approximately 100 cars come in day of show,
Wow.
so which is a lot because people with this weather lately kind of wait to the last minute.
That was just 100 people just showing up, not registered.
Right.
Wow. So how many are here total?
I don't know.
A lot.
Yeah, lots.
A lot.
City of Burbank charges me, so I can't disclose that.
Okay.
But yes, plenty. We filled the park. All the part we rented, we filled it.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of fun things here. We've got great vendors, all sorts of fun things for that. Good food. And we'll have beautiful trophies later on tonight.
Oh, that's exciting. Is there any favorite of yours here?
There's a couple I've looked at. We have the Dragon Tractor thing down there that I love.
Ooh.
The guy sent me his card in the mail and said, "Can I come?" Like, yes. We have some people, one of the things we try to do with this is when we have them find the cars that are somewhat new or people newer to doing this or just finished something and bring them out.
Yeah.
So we have some of those out here this year, and I've seen some. There's a blue wagon thingy over there that's beautiful. There is a bike somewhere, a Sidewinder something that's custom painted somewhere that is gorgeous. There's just
so much to see here. I haven't even gotten a chance to walk around yet. I'm so excited because, I mean, this event is huge. You have like double decker right here.
we're a double stacker.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
So it's just, it's nice to see. We got the fire department here. I love seeing them.
Sure, Gary loves to hear that.
But it's just all very positive. We got a lot of foot traffic too, so it's
Yeah.
great.
It's a big weekend for Burbank. We have the St. Francis Fair.
Yes.
We have the Downtown Art Festival. I mean, this is the Burbank weekend. Like, you're staying in Burbank and you're enjoying everything that the community has to offer this weekend.
That is perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you for coming. I mean,
thank
now you get
you.
to sleep tomorrow. I'm sure you're going to feel so good.
yes, so it'll be over.
Yes.
But then the next day, you start planning for the next year.
Yeah, and you have little
Never
things
ends.
throughout the year, right? You have little car shows.
We actually help on other ones. Like we'll help the Burbank Elks is going to do a chili cook-off this year.
Okay.
And I don't have their flyers yet. They were going to try to get them to me. It's in August, I think. And then we also help the Santa Clarita Elks on theirs because we have members. Burbank moved to Santa Clarita, right? And so we have those. So we go to different car shows. We'll help out with the different people and
Yeah.
show up at them and just support them.
Amazing. Well, I'm excited.
Oh, that reminds me. I have to go back up on stage, too, because I have to go get the club. We have club participation trophy for the most club members for a club that comes.
Oh my
You
gosh.
are busy
I
today.
was just about to say,
You are busy.
You're on. Go drink some coffee and get it done.
We don't want you to be late.
All right, then.
Bye, Karen.
Great.
Thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Thanks, Karen.
Well, as you can all hear and see if you happen to be watching this on the YouTube, it's a great day here at Johnny Carson Park so far at the 33rd Annual Road Kings Charity Car Show. Now, as you know, our local and traffic enforcement expert here, formerly, I haven't had a chance to walk around yet, but you suggested I do and maybe take a pad of paper and a pen with me to take some notes as to some of the vehicle code violations I see out there. But no, I'm happy to say I haven't had a chance to walk around yet. But a lot of these being vintage cars, older cars, they fall under a lot of exemptions and grandfather exceptions for a lot of these sections. Emissions, I don't know. They goes back to like 75 or something like that. But I'm not here for that anymore. I'm here to enjoy the show, the event, the cars, and the Road Kings and everything they're here to support. You have anything to say about the day here, Ross?
Well, we just had Karen on, and she said, some of the stuff that's going on today, from our standpoint or our sitting where we are next to the stage, there are cars. What's that word? A plethora?
A plethora
of cars on this green grass.
I don't know how long the 405 freeway has existed, but this is what I imagine the 405 freeway looking at during rush hour back in the 50s.
Yeah, look at some of these cars, and there's food here.
They're jam-packed in here.
I see vendors over here. When we drove in, saw the fire department. I saw a group of bicycles, custom bicycles.
Yeah, there's a classic fire engine over there. The Burbank PD classic car is over there.
Wow, just this car show has grown. I mean, it's a couple hours in now, and there's got to be a couple thousand people.
This whole park is full. They've filled parts of the park I didn't know existed here. Can't even see them from here.
Yeah, the upper part is, if you know Johnny Carson Park, the upper park, we've been told, has as many cars up there as we have down here. There are motorcycles.
Like Karen said, when they opened the gates this morning, they had over 100 car entries that hadn't even registered yet. So I'm amazed. I'm impressed they found the room for them.
It's also, you know what's nice doing it out here at Johnny Carson Park? There's kids out here. There's dogs out here.
Dogs everywhere.
There's a ton of dogs out here. Pets.
Good dog day.
Oh, great dog day. I mean, dog gets exercise, and everything. I guess they're going to do awards. Karen said they do. She had to run off to tally up and do a participation award for Road King members.
Right, but she's got to get up on stage soon and hand out some awards.
And yeah, it blows me away. Another great day for my Burbank Talks to be out in the public, and
Another great day for Burbank.
it is.
Every year, and this goes till 3 o'clock this afternoon. So it's actually a pretty lengthy event. So people can sleep in on a Sunday and still make it here to enjoy the show. This is great. You could walk around here for hours. You can see the pace people are walking around at. Very slow pace because they want to take in every detail, every car. There are still people every few minutes they're buffing their car. They're wiping down their car because they want the shine, right?
Yeah.
Had a little sprinkly out here today, a little misty on and off. We're under this covering here, so we're not noticing it so much.
Well, it's funny. Back in the day, you remember we always used to say, boy, that's a Kodak moment. I don't think I've seen one person without their cell phone camera out shooting their favorite car.
Well, we were talking about it earlier. I'm glad I didn't bring my my big camera today, because I'd be completely distracted taking pictures of the detail of these cars. That's my favorite part. The overall artistry the work that goes into them. But these older cars have these details to them: the chrome, the grills, the headlights. So unique. It's great.
Well, sitting just across from us, I don't know what this is. It's a hot rod. Between the chrome in the engine,
Yeah.
and I looked at one or two of these cars, the upholstery inside has stitching that I don't even have on some of my wardrobe.
And one common thing that all of the owners of these vehicles have that are displayed here today is pride.
Oh,
They have
definitely.
pride in the car, pride in that manufacturer, pride in the decade it was built. These are a lot of classic cars, older cars. They take you back to another time, and you got some 50, 60, 70, 80-year-old cars out here, and they look like they just rolled off the factory floor.
It does. And I know these guys that own some of these cars, and that's what they do every weekend. They go to all these different shows. As Karen said, they do the Elk Show, and they do a show at Santa Anita Racetrack, and they do one Holiday in the Park. There's a good display of cars. And look at these cars. They're just, they're amazing, and they love doing this.
And they all run.
I know I haven't seen any battery tenders
Not
or
yet. Well,
AAA out here yet.
About 2:30, we'll probably have a line of tow trucks on the street out here, but hopefully not. This is great. I hope we get a little chance to walk around a little bit. Behind the scenes here, we're going to grab some GoPro footage for the video version of this, so you can get a good view as to what's around here. So check out the YouTube version of this at My Burbank for some pictures and some videos, as well as the rest of this podcast. But we'll get back to it, find some more people to talk to, maybe take a little walk around.
Sounds like a great idea.
All right, let's do it. All right, we are among greatness right now. This bike, and we'll cut in some video and some B-roll of it for the video version, maybe a picture. But we got this custom Raiders. It's a trike. It's a tricycle trike. The owner of this magnificent creature out here is sitting with us right now. Go ahead, why don't you introduce him?
I was just walking around to take a quick gander, and I didn't have to walk more than 50 feet, and I found Ruben Garcia with this trike. We have said during the podcast, everything's out here today: cars, bikes, fire engines. I can go on and on. Ruben,
Yes, sir.
this is classic.
It is.
This is classic. You're from the San Fernando Valley.
Right.
This show attracts everybody.
Of course.
I walked by. You got a stereo on.
Are we going to get to hear the sound system?
Yeah.
A little demo?
Got a little,
All right.
little boombox there, huh?
Yeah.
So tell us what got you into.
Well, I've been in the lowrider industry for about I'd say about 2-3 years. I used to love lowrider cars, and I always wanted a bicycle, lowrider bike. I had a single one, but since I'm, a little bit on the side big.
You're talking to
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. But anyways, I decided to get a tricycle, and I want to give shout-outs to SoCal Lowrider Bikes because they're the ones that helped me put a little bit of part in it, and I put my part. I told them what I wanted, and we did it together. So, anyways, I decide I'm a Raider fan all the way since.
You better
Yeah,
be.
yeah, I better be. I have a Raider bike. I have a lot of people that comment on that. They just don't like the team.
No, right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, you'll get reactions
Yeah.
from the trike fans and the
Raider fans.
Raiders, yeah.
So, anyways, I decided to do a tricycle with some music on it. Anyways,
Now, is this a custom build from ground up, or is it
ground up.
really? They fabricated all this stuff, and you had a hand in it as well.
The frame is airbrush. The Raider plaque, Joel made the Raider plaque. I decided to put it on to weld it on there. And so it has 188 spokes on each.
There's a lot of spokes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of polishing.
And the tires original are from the lowrider. And then I made it into, I wanted to twist it. The handle, the steering wheel's just for looks. And then the boombox, this is actually from motorcycle, how they built it.
Okay.
And it has 2 batteries. It has an amp. I'll show you guys later. And it has 4 speakers, kickers.
Now, I feel bad for the people, the audience out there that's just listening to the podcast because you're missing the visual of this.
Yeah.
You're watching the video version later on YouTube. We're going to show some footage of this. But the detail to this, you just see spokes through spokes through spokes on these wheels.
Yeah.
But do you notice, Craig, people stopping and showing
Everybody's
pictures?
stopping to take pictures of
Yeah,
it.
they take pictures.
Yeah. But I asked you, not seriously and jokingly, but you got the twisted bars, which is a fantastic detail, and the mirror mounts coming off of it are twisted metal as well. But you've got that chain steering wheel in the middle, and I asked if you could steer with that if you wanted to, and you said that's just for looks.
Yeah,
That's just for looks. I'll tell you, it's a winner though. But this is a reason everybody needs to come to this show in person to see this stuff up close. This is great stuff.
Well, Ruben, I'm glad I stopped and talked to you because this is what this show's all about.
Right.
Yeah.
And thanks for coming out in Burbank.
This is my first time here in this.
Oh, great.
In this show.
I like the lowrider because I kind of got short, stubby legs, and my feet can touch the ground.
Yeah. And then as you look over here, the sprocket, Raiders.
Even that is branded with the Raiders. The detail, is that laser cut or is that?
It was already made.
Oh, really? Okay. It was molded or something.
Yeah.
Wow, you got mufflers, you got pipes coming off the front wheel.
They don't come. Yeah.
And look,
They keep your feet warm in the winter.
Yeah. Protect the dice hanging from.
You got the fuzzy dice and
the fuzzy dice.
the drink holder, of
the
course.
drink holder. Yeah.
Mirrors and everything. This is great. Thanks for letting us take a look at it.
No problem.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by and have a great day today. And we hope to see you at future years. Again, it's My Burbank Talks.
Yes.
We're going to be on air in a couple of days with Sid's show and tell all your friends to
And
check it out.
the first of many for Ruben.
Thank you so much.
Right on.
Thank you.
All right, we're back. We have the whole band back together with a new lead singer. Sorry, Ashley. We got a new lead singer, past president and current face of the Road Kings. Please introduce us to this gentleman.
Well, if you've been around Burbank a week or two, a month, you know the voice of Don Baldessaroni, or you've heard that name. Part of the Heritage Commission, the Burbank Chamber of Commerce. This guy owned more service stations than 76 had. No, standard stations, excuse me.
One of each.
What is 76 of them, right?
If you ever drove through the intersection of Olive and First Street or Glen Oaks and Olive, you went by a couple of gas stations that Don was been around. Don, you've been involved in Road Kings since
1987. Started with the club again.
and it started
in 1952 here in Burbank, and they had a group of guys get together, and they liked the common things of automobiles, and started a club. And we had a lot of famous members coming up through the years. If you're not into drag racing or anything, you might Don Perdome, Bob Maravis, Jimmy Miles, Tommy Ivo, big one.
I remember walking home from school down Oak every day, and Tommy Ivo had that car trailer, and he'd be out there working on, and us kids walking home from Jordan. Back then it was Jordan. Can't say that nowadays. But Tommy Ivo lived in that 1600 block of Oak, I think, and that car trailer, and it was.
Tommy still lives in that same house
Really?
back. Yeah.
We've climbed into the Wayback Machine.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
this
you-
is a Road Kings event.
Yes.
Don and I start talking we're all the time.
I know. I hang out with you too.
Don, this is just amazing.
You know, it's unbelievable because we started back, if you remember, in 1991 at the Hilton. We had a small little car show. Dick Messer was the general manager of the Hilton, and we were in the parking lot. We had 50 cars. I don't think much more than that. The second year we did that, and then we went to the Equestrian Center.
Mm.
Oh, that was nice. Of course, the general population around the Equestrian Center and the horse people particularly didn't want that kind of horsepower there.
Right. Too many horses.
They're a little loud and everything else. And as you know, that's in L.A. And when you go through the breezeway there, it becomes Burbank, 480 Riverside Drive. So after a couple of successful years there, we moved big show to Santa Anita Racetrack. That was a lot of fun. We had a lot of cars there. It could hold 20, 30,000 people. And by the way, we had Gino sing the national anthem there. Okay. But anyway, but we still had the urge. We had to do something here in Burbank. So Mr. Bob Beck and I was vice president. He was president.
Look who's walking up behind us. He's the
Photobomb.
aficionado
Photobomb.
himself, Jay Leno.
Guys, trick here.
So
A little cameo from Jay Leno.
Ashley, here you go. Get that gray-haired man in the Levi outfit.
I have him on my other GoPro too.
We'll keep our conversation going here, though.
yeah,
On.
you know,
Yeah, well, look what the show brings.
yeah. Well, without a question, you know, Jay has more cars at his warehouse than we have here.
I
know?
have been there. I go way back
Yeah.
with Jay. We went to the
Really?
same high school, grew up in the same town. It's the same
Really?
teachers. He was a little ahead of me. Went to the same college. He might not remember, but we've known each other for about 35 years. I remember. He might
Oh, yeah.
not. He's
Yeah,
met
yeah.
a lot more people over the years than I have. But the Road Kings it's a local. It's a community. Very engaged in the community, but a philanthropic organization too. This is a charity car show, is it not?
Oh, without a question.
So, what can you tell us about that part?
Okay, well, let me continue on with coming here to Johnny Carson Park.
Sure.
Bob Beck was president. I was vice president, and we wanted to keep something in Burbank. Very imperative. So we started doing a car show here, and we'd actually have a lot more cars than we had here, but we didn't charge any admission. We just wanted to come and have fun, you know. But then, as a couple of years go by, we started having raffles and this and that, and it turned out good. Then we were giving all our money. Gave away probably, I bet you close to $500,000 so far in the last 30 years, 33 years, I guess, has been here.
And that money all goes back to Burbank nonprofits.
99% of it does. We have to have a 1% that we have to pay the city of Burbank and other things that go. But
Still need
last year-
permits to have the events, right?
well, last year we gave away $20,000 for 4 charities.
Wow.
You know, so it was, you know, and that's what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
and everybody that
community.
comes and participates today can help toward that.
Exactly. No matter what they do, raffle prizes, the hot dog vendor, the taco vendor, you know, everything goes to that we raise goes to charity. Because what are we going to do? We have hundreds of thousands of dollars of cars, and you know, $500 or $1,000 is not going to mean to us in the big scheme of things. But if we can give it to a charity and have 5 kids go to summer camp, or what the Boys and Girls Club is one of our, BTAC is one of ours. They use the money for really good cause for Burbank, and that's what we're about.
Well, Don, I got a question for you. The other day I ran into you, and getting these cars are kind of, you get one, you get two. Now, Don, you told me the other day, You got a new car this week. How many? I've lost count in the numbers of fingers on my hand. How many cars you have? What did you pick up this
As
week?
many cars as gas stations, or
Actually, yeah, about the same. Because I did have garages in between that. No, I bought a 41 Ford.
Yeah,
A 41 Ford. Well, a friend of mine.
and that thing is in
Yeah.
pristine
Oh,
shape.
yeah, no, it's nice. It's a nice car.
But yeah, tell the story. I just love that.
Well, he called me up and said, I need to get it out of my warehouse because I'm renting out my warehouse. And he's 80 plus years old, and he says, come on over and take a look at it. I said, yeah, I'll go over. And so my wife and I went over there, and she says, I love the color. I think you really should buy it. I think it's a good idea. Buy it. So we did. And I really love it. Don't know if I love it as much as my 55
Donahue.
Chevy or my Trans Am, but so I have 3 cars.
it fills that empty spot in the garage, right?
I wish it was in the garage. It's right in front of the cars. To take one car out, I have to move the 3 other cars. To move.
You almost have Bob Fruto's beat with his what 6
Oh,
or
geez,
7,
Yeah, I know.
and I don't know how he jockeys cars to get. I've asked him, how do you decide what day you're going to drive what car? I drove by today, and one of them is in the driveway. I'll probably go home, and a different one will be in the driveway because he has to shuffle them. And he starts them all, rubs them, wipes them all down. But Don, you're also, like I let off there, you're part of the Heritage Commission. You are also with an organization here in Burbank. I think it's called the Historical Museum.
Well,
You have anything to do with that place?
sure, I sure do. Gordon Howard Museum, and I'm actually the president of the board of directors of the Gordon Howard Museum, and it's the best position to be in. I get to go into work when I'm there at the museum, and you can't see it all. I still, after 25 years, I still walk around and I reach up. Boy, I don't remember. Of course, my memory is not.
You're
what it
still
used to
getting lost?
Just about. I know which way to go. I have a GPS on my phone. But it's a great feeling. That is what the museum's about. Just like with the Road Kings, showing people what we have. That's the fun part of it. We're custodians of Burbank's history.
Well said.
It
Well
really,
said,
it really is, and we love it.
So that's why this event today brings out Burbank's best, Burbank's worst, Burbank's everything. This is community,
Yes.
and you and I have been on Burbank on Parade together, July 4th. I mean, I can go down the committees you and I've been on, but this is what we love. That's why we stay in
Everybody's
this
here.
city.
Everybody's getting along. Everybody's having a good time with shared interests. Fantastic. Families, kids, adults. Everybody's here.
Yeah.
Everybody's here.
That's true. And Nikki Perez, our vice mayor, was here today.
There was.
And you saw Jay Leno. I mean, I love Jay.
He wanted to take a picture next to the car that's next to us here.
Yeah. Yeah. What year is that again? I don't know.
Looks a little newer than your 40.
I think so. But it's the same color.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, bright red. But I mean, the sense of community. That's what it's all about. Giving back to the community. That's such a misused term. Why not?
Absolutely.
I mean, my wife is just now on the board of the VFW committee.
All that.
Well, and that's something to be spoken for too. Is the Road Kings are represented everywhere.
Oh,
You
yes.
see the shirts all over town. You see your members all over town participating, leading different events, participating in different events, attending. Road Kings are everywhere in Burbank. It's fantastic.
We try.
You have a lot of shirts.
Well, thanks for stopping by and conversing with us. And I mean, this is just fantastic. I mean, I can't, you could tell that I'm in my glory out here. It's running into people. I think we got here and we started setting up, and people came up to me and, they listened to our podcast or listened to our weekly show or reading my Burbank with some of our articles. And that's why we're here.
It's really sensory overload. There is just so much to see. It's like, which direction do I go now?
Without a question.
Amazing.
Hopefully you guys go out and take a look-see. And thank you for my Burbank for being here for us. That's the biggest thing.
It's our pleasure to be here.
Okay, thanks.
Great day.
Thanks.
Ross, you found us another guest.
Yes, I have.
You woke everybody up.
Wow, I don't know what happened there, but I think a spaceship just drove through me. Headset was so loud.
Who do we have? His shirt says Hot Rod Bob.
This is Hot Rod Bob, and
I hope it's his shirt.
I want to.
Yeah, it was when I left the house
Bob
this morning.
back. Bob has been the announcer how many years now?
Well, I've been an announcer since 1974. I've been with the Road Kings for about 35 years.
Oh, you're not that old. Come on, dude.
Yeah, I am actually.
Well, it sounds like you get the pipes of an announcer.
I
Well, he
try,
does.
Yes.
That's the thing. You guys, Craig's the voice of my Burbank, and you
Like it or not.
There you go.
you got the pipes. You know you're a car aficionado.
Yes.
You have done this show for years. I've been at tons of events that you have emceed and so forth. Isn't today's show amazing?
It is great. The weather is perfect. It's not too hot. It's not cold. You got a little cloud cover. That's okay. It's comfortable.
Good for photos.
It is great because you don't get the shadows.
Right.
Now, you talk about this show. When I was president of the Road King, this is the show that I started. We moved it from the LA Equestrian Center to here because the cost of doing the Equestrian Center was prohibitive. The horse people didn't want cars there in the first place. This was a perfect place for it. We moved it here. We still made the same amount of money for charity as we did at the Equestrian Center without the excessive money and time to put on that show. We didn't have to fence it off. We had to fence off the Equestrian Center. We didn't have to do that here. We had to charge admission. We don't have to do that here. So it's a great venue. It's on the grass. It's in the shade if you want to be in the shade, although we have plenty of shade today all over. But this was the show that I moved here in 1996.
And are you amazed? I have seen just the amount of, not only the amount of people, I've seen babies in strollers, I've seen babies on shoulders, I've seen mothers, fathers, grandmothers, great-grandfathers. This show has brought out the community.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be.
And they're still coming.
They're still coming. And
pouring
it's
in.
not just car people. These are people here to see the cars and see the event. My grandkids showed up.
I saw that a minute
And,
ago.
so we put them in the car. We let them sit in the car, and that's one thing I do. I like to perpetuate the car hobby. Well, the best way to get a kid involved is get them in the car. So I put my grandkids in the front seat behind the steering wheel, and they love it. They've got their own vintage pedal cars. As a matter of fact, this year at Christmas time, I gave my grandson his father's pedal car that he had gotten when he was 2 years old. So we're carrying on a tradition.
Well, you might call this an interactive art show.
Yes.
Because you don't have to be into cars. This is art.
It is. When you look at some of the cars, the workmanship in it, the quality of the cars. I mean, right alongside us is a Nomad. This car is a Grand National Roadster Show winner, multi-award winner at various car shows. It's just perfect.
So I shouldn't put my drink on the hood.
Wouldn't be a good idea.
Okay.
No.
I'll go.
But then,
Ill advised.
then on the other side, you've got mine alongside it with a 1972 Earl Scheib black paint job. So you've got all different degrees of car quality. Mine's a driver. I drive it everywhere. We've put over 100,000 miles on it.
Wait a minute. So a minute ago, I walked by that car, and it's the license plate frame that says, "No smartass. No, I didn't buy it new."
That's correct. I was at a gas station at Costco, and the attendant, the guy that walks around acting like he knows what he's doing, he comes up. He's talking to me about the car, so I explained the car, and the next thing out of his mouth was, "So did you buy it new?" I'm old, but I'm not that old,
After
guys.
he picked himself up off the ground,
Well,
you
yeah.
told him.
Oh, and my wife started laughing like mad.
Well, now we can.
But now
put
I was wondering what the graphic with the guy with the microphone was.
Here I am.
And mystery solved.
That's it.
Mystery solved.
see if we stick around here long enough. But I have seen not only people, but I've seen people with 2 1/4 cameras,
Yep.
cameras on poles, cameras on 6. I've seen GoPros. I've seen
Brownie walking
Yeah.
around.
cell phones.
Sure.
This is Kodak moment.
I know of at least 4 podcasters that are out here today shooting podcasts of the show. And they're amazed. These are guys that go to shows every weekend, and they are just set back by the amount of cars, the amount of people, the breadth of the cars. I mean, you've got everything here from sports cars to muscle cars to hot rods to restored antiques.
This is a content-rich environment
It
for
is.
everybody.
It is.
So I got a question for you, and we were gonna, I saw Jay Leno walking around. In fact,
Yeah.
he walked right by. we have any electric cars here?
You know what? We don't. Luckily, I mean, we don't. You see, I'm mixed on this. Do I like electric cars? If you can use it, buy it. If you want it, buy it. If you like it, buy it. But don't tell me I've got to drive it too.
Amen.
And that's where it is.
Amen
And,
to
you know,
that.
we've got 3 states right now that have already passed legislation to ban the demand, so you can have a choice. There's a bill pending in California right now to rescind Newsom's plan of all electric by 35. Whether it goes through or not, we don't know. But there's 3 states that have already passed those bills. So the resistance is growing. I don't mind if you want to drive an electric car. Drive one. Enjoy it if that's what you want. But it's like telling someone you can't buy a Chevrolet anymore. You have to buy a Ford.
Well, it just tells me the common sense
Yeah.
is still alive somewhere.
Someplace, yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. And we're working on it.
Great.
But, yeah.
Well, Bob, I know you were up on stage before. You do a I'm not exaggerating,
Thank
folks,
you.
when I say fantastic job. Your voice goes with the job.
That's all
so
your
well.
music we're hearing in the background?
It's all my music.
Nice. Good stuff. Good choices.
I try. You know, you got to look at this group. And this time of day, it's got to be upbeat.
You know how to read a room.
I try. Yes, I try. Don't tell
Now,
that
what
to
is
my
your,
wife.
your official role with the club these days? Do you have one?
I'm just one of the members.
You're a very
I'm a
active
member.
one.
I'm a very active one, and then I do the announcing for them at the different shows. And, you know, we talked about, yes, I've been doing this since 1974. I started out doing drag racing, road racing. I was the announcer.
Were you one of the first, when there were 17 people at the first meeting?
No, I'm not
Oh,
that
okay.
old. Yeah. This club started the year I was
So
born.
you didn't buy that car new?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Not this time. Yeah, I do have a few that I did, but that's not one of them. But yeah, no, that's what I do. I announce auto racing. I MC other car shows I just did the LAPD show last week. I helped at the Huntington Beach Concourse on Sunday. I'm headed to Great Britain to do an event there next month. I'm going to be at Hot August Nights in Reno for a week doing their stuff.
Oh.
So
See, there's hope for you,
I get
Craig.
around- yeah,
I know. Well, I can fill in while he's gone,
that's it.
right?
There you go.
I'm going to snap a cute picture of you so I have it.
Did you say cute? A cute
Oh, that's
picture?
adorable.
Well, when you shoot with your
Give
camera.
us one of these.
Yeah.
One of the-
Bob, thanks for stopping by.
Oh, thank you.
Well, let you get back to the
We're gonna
mix
get back.
up
Yeah,
there.
we're going to start doing award
Thanks
presentations.
for stopping
in just a
by.
little bit. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Okay, well, Ross and Craig, what a great show. What a great time today. Road Kings were great hosts and helped us out. Had a lot of great things to look at, to talk about. What are your final impressions?
This has been a great. This is all the years I've known this is going on and been around town. This is the first Road Kings car show I've been able to attend, and even though I'm in this thing, I was able to do a lap and see some of the stuff out there. The variety of vehicles, the pride in all these vehicles, but the vendors, the food opportunities here, and everybody just having such a good time. What a great event. This certainly won't be my last. Congratulations to the Road Kings on their 33rd show. They're still giving out awards and stuff on the stage over here, but it's ending almost at a perfect time because we've had shade and cloud cover until the sun's coming out now.
Here comes the sun.
Going to start heating up. That means I have to find shelter before long. But a great show, Ross. This is not your first rodeo, so to speak. But how does this compare to?
Well, you
shows
know,
in the
I
past?
didn't get to walk around, but I've seen quite a bit. I met a lot of new people, and you know, what a great opportunity for my right. Yep.
Now everybody should know out there that the Road Kings were nice enough to loan us one of their canopies, and it's branded Road Kings. So all day everybody's
become
been
the
thinking we're
information
the info booth.
And that proves we're live and
My answer to
unscripted.
everything is down 2 streets, take a left.
There you go.
Oh, I noticed the antique Burbank Ford is just pulling out, and cars are going to start pulling out soon. So I think it's time that we pull the plug on this podcast. And
We're just waiting for the 50-50 raffle.
And by the way, shout out to the guys making the hot dogs here.
Oh,
What a fantastic
quality,
hot dog.
quality stuff. The
Holy
breakfast
cow.
it's
burritos.
pretty well known. and-
Everything I had was fantastic today and reasonably priced. You don't see that a lot
Yeah.
of these shows.
Well, you're so correct. You go to a county fair, $20 for a hot dog. I mean,
Well, you go to a Dodgers game and get one of these hot dogs. How much are they now?
Oh, ridiculous.
This was only a few bucks. It's fantastic.
and it's nice to see, with the money that'll come back to Burbank in the long run, and just our weather, kind of like you said, the sun's breaking through and getting warm.
I feel it. But when we say the money coming back to Burbank, it's not going to the city.
No.
It's coming back to organizations, nonprofits. It's going to benefit the people that enjoy the city of Burbank. They live and work here.
Yep.
Sure. But a great event. We don't know the final tally of how many vehicles are here. Jay Leno came by and said hi mid-interview at one point, but he was whisked away quickly to his next stop. But
go on our website, My Burbank. Ashley's going to write a very nice article. You can find out a lot more about who won the awards and everything else. And it'll all be there. MyBurbank.com.
And as we promoted all day, we have My Burbank Talks. We have MyBurbank.com. A lot of ways for you to get information of stuff in Burbank, and we're going to keep doing it, folks.
And it's come up several times talking to these great people all day. Is MyBurbank.com is the local newspaper for the city of Burbank now.
It's funny you say newspaper because Craig, he hated that line for years.
I just call it the digital news source.
It is. Well, we'll evolve to that, but it's replaced the gap left behind by the newspaper industry.
You can look at MyBurbank.com and not get ink all over your fingers.
That's right, unless you iron the paper first.
Yes.
Unless your staff irons the paper.
And honestly, we'll have this out in a day or two.
Yeah.
You won't see this in the local paper for another week.
But do this too when you listen when you listen to it. Put it on your calendar for next year.
There you go. Okay. Well, for Craig Durling, for Ross Benson, this is Craig Sherwood.
Tally ho!
Thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you next time.